I was watching this video the other day of this father talking to his three boys, and he asked his three boys, "What do you hate the most from dad? What do you wish dad would stop doing?" And every single one of them said, "Yell." One of them said scream. The last one, which was the oldest one, says farts and yells. And he's like, "Okay, well you got to choose one, buddy." And he was like, "Yell. I hate it when you yell." And so the father was like, "Well, why? Why? What is it about me yelling or screaming?" He's like, "It's just scary. I hate it. It doesn't make me feel good." And then so the father goes and he talks to the camera after interviewing his kids, his three boys, and he says, "I'm going to refrain from yelling and screaming for an entire month. I'm going to find other ways to communicate to my boys what I need them to do without raising my voice." And I thought to myself, wow, that is an amazing challenge that I want to do as well. And so I decided to do the same thing to my kids. I asked them, "What do you hate the most that dad does? Like what is it?" And they both said, "Yell and scream." Like they hate it when I raise my voice at them and I discipline them by yelling at them. And to be honest, I was raised in a typical home where we did yell and we did scream. I mean, we were just like a hot-blooded Mexican family, right? And it was just like a normal thing. But I don't want that for my kids. I don't want them to grow up with a father that yells at them without communicating, or not being able to communicate without yelling. Do you know what I mean? And so it's going to be a challenge for me because I need to maneuver and I need to be patient. I need to sit down. I need to talk to my kids and just communicate with them that what I need them to do, and the seriousness of it, at a tone where is not so intimidating. Do you know what I mean? And I think us as fathers, we believe that we need to be intimidated. We need to be scary in order to get things done. And sometimes we yell at other employees or our employees, or sometimes we yell at our wives because we got so frustrated at something. And I'm coming to a point in my life, a place in my life where I'm just like, man, yelling should honestly be the last resort. Yelling and screaming should honestly be for cases of emergencies. You know what I mean? Like when you're driving in a car and there's some people that are very loose at the horn and they honk at everything. And it's like, bro, don't honk at everything, because if you honk at everything when there is an emergency, nobody's going to believe you. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to care. And so you honk when it's really needed, right? And so for me, I think it's the same thing when it comes to yelling and screaming. So I told my kids, we're on vacation right now. We have a week of no school and everything. So we're going to be very close together for the next week and a half. And I told them, okay, for the next week and a half, I am not going to raise my voice. I am going to fast. I'm going to keep myself from yelling or screaming or using, raising my voice. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, and if I can get past this week, I'm going to go for the second and third and fourth. And that's a challenge that I'm going to start. And I invite you to join me on that challenge if you would like to, if you also deal with that. And, to get to a point where we don't have to yell or scream or raise our voices at our loved ones.